find you. You'll be my rock boy, and I will climb you. But you don't notice me, it's like I'm not even here. I see you in the A, I see you in the bay. I see you every day, but I don't know what to say.
I had a solid foundation. I was raised to work hard, handle my business, and stay focused. But when it came to credit, the real strategies, the real game behind the scenes, that's where I had to teach myself. And once I learned the truth, everything changed for me. At first, I thought credit was just a number, a score you needed to get a car, an apartment, or a house, and maybe even a little credit card to do some shopping. But once life started moving bigger for me, and I had bigger dreams, bigger goals. I don't want to say the S word, but it started to get real. And I realized credit wasn't just about approvals. It was about leverage. And if you really think about it, credit is just a report card for adults. It shows you how to handle pressure, opportunity, and especially responsibility. Every move you make with money, good or bad, it gets reported. Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, they're the main ones that's keeping the score. And trust me, they're not doing it to help you as much as they say that they are. And turns out, they're only doing it to sell you. The credit reporting agencies sell your information to banks, lenders, and even jobs. So that score you see, it's just a highlighted reel. But the real power, the real leverage, is buried inside of your credit report. Now, here's what they don't break down for us. Once something hits your credit report, it's not just about whether you paid or not. It's about whether or not the information is legally allowed to be there. Under consumer law, anything reported about you has to be authorized, meaning you gave them permission, accurate, meaning all the details on the credit report are correct, complete, meaning nothing is misleading or missing. So for example, if a company can't show proof that they had the right to report that information, or if the data is off, outdated, duplicated, or misleading in any way, you have the right to challenge it. And when you challenge it, the burden shifts to them. And they have to prove everything. That they have permission to report it, the balance details, dates are correct, that the information is updated and correct, and if they can't by law, they have to delete it. So when I started figuring out how credit really worked, and no, not just the surface stuff, but the real game, I realized how a lot of us are really set up to lose from the beginning. Like the youth and the Black community, not because we didn't work hard and not because we didn't want better. It's because nobody ever showed us the rules. That's why me, the Credit Barbie, created the Credit Game series to break it down move by move and to show you how to flip the system in your favor. It's about moving smarter and making credit work for you. So I welcome you to the Credit Game series. Let's get it. Credit didn't start the way we know it today. Back in the 1950s and the 60s, your financial reputation was local. Businesses kept handwritten notes about who paid and who didn't. It eventually got out of control because companies started collecting information about people. Things like where you lived, how much you made, and even how you paid your bills. And nobody was stopping them. By the 1960s, companies like Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion were buying up all the local small networks and buying giant profiles of millions of people. And they started selling that information to others. Banks, landlords, employers, pretty much anybody who had a checkbox could buy access to your information. And the wildest part about that is, you didn't have access to see it. You didn't even have a right to fix it or have a say-so in what they were doing. People were getting denied for jobs, loans, and even cars. And they didn't even know mistakes in their credit report was the reason why. That's why Congress had to step in, because they eventually got caught profiting off our private lives. The first major law that flipped the credit game was the Fair Credit Reporting Act, the FCRA, which was passed in 1970. After that, the credit game exploded really fast. Things like credit cards exploded in the 1970s and the 80s with companies like Visa, MasterCard, American Express. It's like everybody was financing, swiping, and building debt. Every swipe meant more information to track, more data to sell, and more ways for these companies to profit off your financial information. That's why in late 1990, after the banks, insurance companies, and lenders started merging, Congress then passed the Gramm-Leach-Bliley Act. Now this helped lock down on privacy for real. But even with the act in place, I had to learn that laws alone don't protect my name. You have to know how to move. Just because companies are supposed to protect your information doesn't mean that they do. Data breaches happen, reports get pulled without consent, whether that's a soft or a hard inquiry, and financial profiles still get sold behind the scenes unless you know how to opt out, lock them down, or freeze them. And that's why freezing my reports, opting out of pre-screened, pre-credit offers, and closely monitoring my information all became a part of my credit game. Because as a consumer, if I don't control access to my information, somebody else will. But what I also had to learn was that Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion weren't the only companies reporting my information. There's a whole second layer of reporting agencies that people don't even know about. Companies like LexisNexis, Innovis, CoreLogic, SageStream, just to name a few. They track information like your rental history, insurance claims, and even your bank overdrafts. And even those hidden files can block approvals, especially when your main credit report looks clean. That's why the first step to moving smarter in the credit game is making sure you check those credit reports, and even the secondary reports too. You don't just have to dispute, but you can also freeze, protect any piece of data tied to your name. Next episode, we're going to be breaking down how to check your full consumer credit profile and how to stop hidden reports from controlling your approvals. So stay locked into the credit game. We're just getting started.
If you get lost, boy, then I will find you. You'll be my rock, boy, and I will climb you. But you don't notice me. It's like I'm not even here. I see you in the A, I see you in the bank. I see you every day, but I don't know what to say.